You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast. Today, Ryan wants to be excellent. So he's going to ignore this intro and he's going to interrupt me mid-sent. No, he didn't. Sorry, I was trying to think of some way to tie in the thing and he's just frozen, like fucking playing freeze tag. And now he's moving. See, he broke the rules and that's how he's excellent. These segues are getting worse and worse each week. But today we're...
I was just not going to interrupt you because I knew that's exactly what you wanted me to do. You know what is excellent about me is my shaving routine. And can we talk about Will Scruff?
And today we're sponsored, fortunately, by... I just dropped the name.
By Gildan, the company where you shave your head whenever the fuck you want for a deep discount price.
I thought you were going to say like Harry's Shave Club or whatever that like every YouTuber does a brand deal with. But
that's Dollar Shave. Well,
Dollar Shave.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, just combine two and just, hey, let's make a new fucking shaving company, Harry's Shave Club. No, I'm just kidding. Sounds really nice on the ear. Anyway,
it relates barely. But no, I feel like everyone. I don't even know how to like say like, well, everyone. This relates to everyone. Everyone wants to be excellent. Everyone should want to be the most excellent version of themselves, and you have to break rules to do that. But just before we get started, again, make sure if you're not watching on YouTube, it's the visuals, I guess, are available on Spotify. So we appreciate the support on that as well, because this is, I think, like episode 12 of visuals on. So that's really cool. It actually gives more context to when I'm fucking like standing up or acting shit out, and see, like, you wouldn't know Ryan was just like nodding his head like he was in a heavy metal rock band.
Right there. I was disagreeing. Actually, I was nodding like this. Yeah.
Yeah, but visuals provide that. So, and then also consistently posting clips is CWPT.pod. So, kind of shout out there. But before we get started, things that I'm proud of this week. Number one, which is really irrelevant, but if you can't tell, my face looks a mess. I'm changing things up because I can't grow facial hair. But Paris went, you know what? Fuck it, grow it out. And we film once a week, so I always shave once a week at least. And so I'm just like, fuck it. I think it's the first time I've literally filmed any YouTube video, any content without shaving. So look at, maybe that's an excellent decision. I don't know. But
I personally like it. And personally, I mean, I've never seen you with facial hair, especially on recording.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That's just pretty cool. So fuck it, dude. I mean, every day I kind of just show up looking homeless. So I mean, one day you had to take one for the team, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we swapped.
Yeah, I got you this time.
Yeah,
because you shaved right before this. But the actual thing I'm proud of is I freaking finished my goddamn Sambucha video. I was working on a video where Sambucha came to VidCon, and I reached out to see, hey, would you be able to meet for a project? I hadn't made the project at the point because I wanted to see if he would, and he said yeah. And then I spent like 5 days in a row just grinding out video. I actually have bottles behind me, but I can't be asked to pick them up. So go watch them on YouTube. The video is fully there. And that's been, I would say, taking off compared to normal. It's not at its projected, like what I was hoping to get. But again, it's also only been like 4 days. So I'm just super stoked that I even got to meet him. I got to hang out with him. Got to surprise him for, a little thing. And that video was like, I feel like I can relax now more because I got 2 videos that were done back to back.
I mean, it's also kind of stressful. I wouldn't call him a celebrity by any means, but he's definitely out there in the YouTube community. Like, bro has a lot of followers. I think he also, is a really cool guy in general. And I mean, I would be somewhat nervous to meet him and create content with him, even though he was paying you for a while. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but
No, yeah. Not to hang out with him. He didn't pay me to hang out with him.
No.
For a separate client work.
Blink twice if you're need help. No, seriously though, it seemed like a really cool time and just a really good vibe. And if you guys don't know, obviously check it out. But he did make kombucha for Sambucha, so I think that was a pretty good play on words. Good shit, Will. Throwback to English class in high school. Fucking onomatopoeia. Anyway, but anyway, man, I'm really proud of you. You've been on your fucking YouTube grind, man. Unfortunately, the world doesn't really see my grind as much as yours because you post a lot of content. People see it. Instead, for me, I'm fucking waking up in alarms. People aren't seeing that. Showering and going straight to fucking work and straight home and straight to fucking bed. Anyway, that's the story of my life. But no, what does it mean to be excellent, and like what do you have to do that? Like, especially when you're 23, 24, like me and Will, there is always this pressure to be perfect, right? You're growing up, always wanting straight A's. If not, it felt like you were always going to be like having a fucking paddle behind your head, like, oh shit, where's my dad? He's going to fucking knock me over because I didn't get an A on my essay. No, but when you grow up, you're always taught that following the rules, work hard. And I feel like keeping your head down as well, like kind of being scared of things, was definitely a thing as like a kid. And for me, I've kind of just told myself, you just don't have to be perfect with everything. You have to put effort in and try, and it will eventually pay off. And I'm already finding my rhythm, moving to Charlotte, meeting people, finding a girlfriend, just like finding my own self, which kind of sounds dumb, but it's true. And I learned that the hard way, man. I took a lot of stuff personal. Felt like doing everything right would always like mean I would finally have my dream car, my dream house, whatever, like not just even tangible, but I would feel better, right? And honestly, it doesn't guarantee anything, man. The future is always up for fucking grabs. You'll never be able to predict it. I could die tomorrow for all we know. Will could fucking choke on his razor next time he shaves, dude. Maybe tomorrow. Who fucking knows, dude? It just goes through his cheek and he's done. You never know. You can never guarantee it.
You said go through my cheek. I thought you were thinking I would like shave and then it would come disconnected and I would scream out of fear and it would just fall in my mouth. I was so confused why
you don't have hair on the inside of your mouth?
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, dude, you don't shave the inside of your mouth, bro. Fucking dude, that'd be terrible. Fucking one wrong turn. Just fucking.
Anyway, you're brushing your teeth at the same time.
Dude, you know it's actually super gross, super off topic. You know those people with the rings that literally you can go through their cheek?
That's crazy.
Who the fuck is doing? I'm sorry, bro. Shout out to anyone that does that because you're stupid.
It's because you can have a party trick when you eat hot dogs. You could have the hot dog go in your mouth and come out and you didn't digest it. That's the whole reason they do it, don't you know? Like, come on.
The thing, brother. If that's your party trick, you know, you're a fucking clown on yourself. But anyway.
Or you could put hooks in them and like pull a car or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, like Ford F-150 type shit. Oh, damn, that's dope. Yeah. No, anyway, fuck. Literally nothing is guaranteed, right? And I feel like burnout is kind of inevitable when you're like putting so much pressure on yourself. And I would really just say, it sounds like stupid. Just say fuck it, dude. Put towards a plan. Do what you can. But if you fail, it's just not the end of the world. Like, it's just not. We talk about this every week. But last little point with that is like, I'm already doing everything I can. If you say that to yourself, then you've already succeeded. Even if you're not where you're at. Like if you're putting in the effort and you're saying, I'm already doing everything I can control. Maybe I'm still on the street. Maybe I'm trying to get my next fucking meal. It could be that bad. But guess what? You're trying to work towards the next thing. I'm doing everything I can control. And that's what you got to tell yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, no, especially like in finding a job, because I know that's a different type of stressful situation because you feel like you're not qualified the more you apply to stuff, and it's like at the end of the day, once you send a application, there's no fucking touching it because you have no control. Also, I don't know. I feel like that was an easy distinction I had to learn because I just would worry about like, oh, but what if I have to make the cover letter like this and I have to make it unique to this thing and blah blah blah, and it's like, dude. Like, just fucking send it, and if it sticks out, if that's meant for you, then cool, then that'll happen. Kind of going on that point of being excellent. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Which is why you have to break the rules to be excellent. So let's think of some specifics now that I've got my job. So I got my job and I was like, hey, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to do the work I have to do. I'm not even going to listen to music with AirPods in. I'm raw dogging work. I'm raw dogging work. I don't even call people at work. So I'm a graphic designer. I literally could watch a movie. I could do whatever and still design. But I'm raw dogging it because I'm following the rules. Yeah, Ryan's acting me. He's fucking sitting up straight, just looking like
Is my
he
posture right? Oh wait, I
fucking-
can't talk because
yeah, yeah. You can't talk because you're following the rules too much. And
yes.
once I did that, I actually overworked so much that I got to a point where I was scheduling content for my company like weeks ahead in advance. And then I was told all that work wasn't even postable, if that makes sense. I can't remember why, but there was like some problems with things out of my control, like what the photos were of. And then there was some things that were in my control where it's like certain lighting wasn't too dark, or it was too dark and wasn't light enough. So I just, by following the rules, I just ended up wasting like a whole day or two's worth of time. So I learned, okay, there's no point in even getting ahead. Then I went, you know what? Maybe this was me. I didn't know. So then I tried actually getting ahead, and my boss has so many other like hats to wear. They literally can't approve anything for me to get ahead, if that makes sense. So there's no point in even trying to overwork and be
That's
ahead, an
crazy.
overachiever, because I can't even get it approved, if that makes sense. That'd be like saying,
Yeah.
oh, you're in class and no one's ever fucking done this. Even I try hard in school. I didn't do this. Say you finished an essay. Your ass is not asking the teacher, what's the next assignment? Actually, what's the next assignment? And even if they did, they would not. My situation is basically they're like, we don't know yet. And in that situation, you can't even work on the next assignment. So like being prepared is great, but like there isn't a guarantee like, oh, you can just crank things out like way ahead of time to like follow the rules like that. And so you might as well just go as slow as everyone else, especially if you work for someone else and you don't give a fuck. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I have two more examples of that. One actually for you, Will. I mean, with this podcast, man, we came up with a lot of these topics about like a year ago, and Will put in all these like notes and stuff, nothing like word for word, but just literally just what he was talking about at the time. His life is completely different a year ago than what it is now. And I'm not saying he wasted time. He was very excited about the whole project, but I'm just saying like now you're looking back and you're like, holy shit, a lot of that was just kind of wasted because now I
gotta
to
update
put
stuff.
in almost just as much work as just making it from scratch. And again, yeah, that's kind of different. But I mean, yeah, and same with like my job, man. So what my job entails of is like booking trucks and like these loads the day of to like move freight across the country, whatever it is. I can't even go past like a week because I then have to rely on humans, these dispatchers, to then remember that the load is a thing. So half the time, if you book a load over a week from now, so for example, we're recording this on Friday, the 11th. If I booked a Friday, the 18th, a week from today load, most dispatchers are just going to be like, what? I don't remember booking that. I'm like, so it just obviously just tells you I can't book a load for the 18th until like the 15th, the 16th. That's the earliest possible date. So therefore, I can only really get 2-3 days ahead on my own work. So I understand because I did the same thing. I booked those loads ahead of time, then got shot in the foot for it and actually did more work to recover. So, which is kind of stupid, man.
And you're not paid for that. Like if you're like, even if you could schedule out, you're not rewarded with a bonus of like, there's no incentive.
No, I agree. Yeah. And then most of the time I just wanted more peace of mind to like, have it out of the way, but it actually makes more hectic and just makes more shit happen in the near future. Fuck that. So, no, but you're right, man. Like playing by the rules does not always work. And I feel like in high school, college, maybe it does a little bit more. You can kind of be a teacher's pet, suck up to the whatever the fuck, whoever it is. But I would say like most rules are just these norms, these like outdated advice. They're not laws, man. Like Will said, you can show up to work. You can throw in AirPods. Well, I guess if your company allows it. But like I'm just saying, like, not everyone's watching you 24/7 on a fucking camera and being like, oh my gosh, he just drank water 3 times and isn't working. Who the fuck cares?
That's funny you say that. Sorry to interrupt you. Because that was what happened to me when I worked at Fort Fun. My job, I thought was like Michael Scott. He made sure everyone was doing their job. Yeah, also he was an Among Us fucking gamer because he sat on cams. This dude camped on cams like fucking he was playing a tournament. Like literally, I went and got a notification from my phone because I was asking my mom how I was gonna get picked up. And like 7 minutes later, a different like mini side manager came out and they're like, "So you got an update on your phone?" Bro,
What?
What?
What's your job, bro? Just to camp on cams like that? Just tell him, bro. Just be like, "What's your job? To watch little kids all day?"
No,
That's like
no,
kind of
just-
that's like pedophile
Man said
shit. Dude.
homophobic. Man
Well,
said
I didn't know if he was a
homophobic.
dude. I was just I kind of just assumed, but that's gonna fuck.
No,
Anyway.
he literally. Bro was on cams. I saw you killing cams. I saw you text on cams. You caught. I'm voting you out. Meeting button. That's literally what it felt like. So no, I just think it's funny you say that because I've had that experience. So it is possible to be working a job where you do have a boss that camps on cams, but it's not always like that.
That's true, but I feel like also it's more because like you were younger. Those jobs are probably more just like teacher to student like type of relationships where like if I walk in, I could like dab up my boss, dude. I could just be like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" Like it's like more of not even a friendship, but like we're getting paid similar enough, and I have a bigger role than like somebody that watches something for fun, you know. But not. I was gonna say like if you follow every rule, you blend in. You don't stand out. Do you think if you look at, for example, a soccer team, and you look at some of the best players in the world, you look at, I'm just gonna take actually a really good player these days that isn't really like sought after, or let me think. So like Neymar Jr. or who's a good one? Who's a
like
good
just
one?
like a player that is like
a good player, part of the system. Like
what do you mean a part of the system? Like
honestly,
essential but doesn't get credit.
Yeah,
like,
essential but doesn't like stand out. Like he's doing his shit, but he's not all skills.
Ooh,
you know what? Fuck it. Sergio Busquets.
Yeah, that's a good
Sergio
one.
Busquets or Neymar. Both of them are doing their job basically perfectly, right? Yeah. One has flair, Neymar. The other one plays the fucking position insane, but doesn't really get noticed for it that much. You know, like he's just there. Who is going to stand out? And I'm not saying Busquets is a bad player. Everyone is going to watch Neymar. The sales for those shirts, those tickets for those teams are going to go higher. For a boss, they're probably going to see that Neymar character and be like, holy shit, I'm looking at him, not Busquets. Again, they're both amazing players. But if you're more likely to take risks and stand out and push the boundaries and just kind of provide that flair, I feel like people look up to you almost. I feel like they don't question you. They're also like, they're kind of scared to question because most of the time they're like, holy shit, this guy is really putting in his all no matter what. And if they're talking shit, that's their own problem. But I guess that wasn't like the best example because Busquets is a fucking baller. But you understand what I was getting at, right?
That's pretty good. I was gonna say I'm biased because of like Real Madrid, but I was gonna say like Valverde. Like he's great with like holding certain defensive stuff, but like I feel like I don't know, Cruz you could have said if you're gonna go the Real Madrid route because he was nuts at passing, but like he has no flair. Sorry, no shade, bro had 33 pace in FIFA. Like he's not ranked, and someone would see that on the outside and be like, I don't want him on my team. He's slow. That I feel like also has transitioned. Like soccer, I feel like you used to not have to be fast and you could be goated, and now every coach is like, I want the fastest fucking players on my team. Because it does help, but I know what you mean. Adding on to that actually, breaking the rules not only does it like make you stand out, but you learn so many different perspectives when you do break the rules. So for example, at my job, when I'm at my job, because I have the flexibility of going because I would say my work ethic is higher than what the minimum is, I can do my own YouTube stuff while I'm at work, or I can do other like projects. So that gets me to learn how to multitask pretty well because it's like, oh, I have to balance two things at the same time. It also gets me to work on faking it till I make it. I have to act like I look busy because fun fact, that's a fucking skill. My first day of work, I was assigned nothing. I was not assigned any work.
Bro.
So why the fuck am I there, bro? Why am I there?
Send me home. So you can shadow the office and so you can watch others do your work. Dude,
watch two
I
other
don't need
people
to
do
be
my
there.
fucking work. That's what I'm saying. I did not have to be there. So that's a skill. And then also not committing to things too fast, because like I said, I can't work and be like too far where it's like I'm going to plan this sale, then this sale, then this sale, and then it's like, well, I can't commit to that because it's not actually been approved, and maybe I worked on a design that totally end up changing, and now I have to redo a whole sale campaign. I just wasted
Yeah.
time because I was trying to go too fast. And then yeah, that I think is a skill. And then also like having your, I don't know, acting, I guess kind of having your back against the wall type of thing. I mean, I quite literally physically the wall's against my back at work, but like I am doing two
Yeah.
separate things.
Yeah.
I'm doing two separate things, and that's like a, I don't know, just being like, you just don't gain that if you're just like, okay, I'm gonna only work on my job at work, and I'm not gonna spend time to think about anything. I feel like no one does that. I'm literally just being a fucking robot, assuming that.
Yeah. Well, actually, the saddest part is there probably are, dude. There's fucking people named Brian, probably. Shout out Brian. Goes from work typing at a keyboard. If people are listening,
No
I'm
way.
literally just typing at a keyboard, looking at a computer. Oh, time to leave. 5 o'clock. Let's go home. I don't want to sleep with my wife. All right, let me go back to my screen and go do more work. I feel like there are people out there, like sadly enough, that you know what, maybe they're happy that way, but I think people sometimes lead like fucking what am I trying to say? Breathe, live, and just like
Yeah.
vicariously just live through work. So which again, that's a preference. Shout out one of my friends, he knows it, he's at law school, he fucking works to work, man. He is a hard worker. I can shout him out. Actually, it was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to you, Levi.
Hey,
um
let's go.
but no, I just feel like he has a very different mindset. You even have a very different mindset than me. I know I have to pay the bills, but my job is also not my home life. It's not really overlapping in a lot of ways. So
Hmm.
that's just also personality. But no, I just want to talk about also like a wake up call from as a kid, right? And kind of like breaking these rules. I've talked about it a little bit, man, but moving, huge. Traveling, huge. Literally just finding new friends, new things to eat, new jobs, new hobbies. All these risks, man, are all calculated. And I feel like no matter what you do, man, I mean, you could travel and spend 50K and be in the hole after that. That's a whole different situation. But for the
Yeah.
most part, you're not going to shoot yourself in the foot so much that you're going to fail. And I think those are really good ways, healthy ways of learning more about yourself, man. I would say like my biggest progression in life came from stop worrying about how I should look to others and start just making moves on my own that work for me. And so a big part was I realized I was on my phone a lot and I kind of pushed away from like the social media, like showing other people my life. And I mean, I would love to come back to like, being able to connect with people that way. But I realized I just want my life of like my own happiness, my own healthiness, like, the way I did that is I kind of cut that out for at least the time being. But the rules that are made for people, for me, for Will, are all going to be different. Like my idea of healthy and happiness is very different from your partner, whoever it is. Um, but what I'm trying to get at, man, is I would just say it's a wake up call for anyone out there just to like fucking just do it. Just do it. I don't know. I'm so big into everything, man. Like travel wise, that I just am so spontaneous in that way. And my friends have taught me that. And like
Yeah.
Will has a lot of like adventures hopefully coming up in like the near future, whatever he does. And
Yeah.
it's just fucking do it, man. It's awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a definite big one. I feel like I kind of said this, but it was a point I did have of like you are like obviously it makes you stand out. You learn a bunch of different stuff, and you just never ever get rewarded for following the rules ever, which is the most counterintuitive thing because in school they're like, oh, if you follow the rules, you get rewarded with a grade or you get rewarded with whatever. And that's just not that does not translate to outside because you don't get a bonus if you work harder. You don't get pay raise until like a year. Usually, like they want you to waste more of your time to benefit the company over a longer period of time to give
Yeah.
you a very small advantage. Also, if you go crazy with like overachieving and being nuts, that now sets you up for failure because that's now a new expectation. Like Ronaldo and Messi fucked themselves a little bit by being the goats because now when they perform a little bad, everyone's like they're
Yeah.
trash, they're washed, but they're still good. Like Messi the other day got 2 goals and assists or some shit. Man's is 38.
But it's the Burger League. It's the Burger League, so it doesn't even matter.
It was a penalty, Penaldo. It doesn't even count. I'm just like, dude, there's so many ways to like walk
and
around.
then there's players that come off the bench that score. Oh my gosh, dude! You literally about to take Messi's position. Oh my gosh, dude! He's gonna become the new starter. And it's like there's an opposite thing that people always love the underdog and always want to shit on the best. And it's just like it's crazy, man. I mean, you see that with anything in a career too, man. Like, I mean, you could be the best at what you do, and you're always gonna have people that are jealous of you. So just make sure. I mean, for example, man, with fucking Sambucha, person Sambuca, sorry, or whatever.
Sambucha. No, you got it.
Thank you. Okay, I did have it right. Anyway, Will could have easily went into that video kind of just being like, like kind of mad at his success and just been like, fuck, dude, I want to be like you. I'm not saying that's what you did. I'm saying you could have been that way. But instead, dude, you want to like learn from him. You want to do a lot what he's doing and like you want to have him as a connection. And I think it was awesome how you interacted. But there's a lot of people out there, man, that just take it. Yeah, just like, why are you doing it that way? Why are you so jealous, full of hate? And it sucks. So don't be that way. But
yeah, I think the last thing I had was I had an example. Oh, me and Paris were just having a regular conversation, and somehow work came up. Obvious, like shocker. It was talking about like I was working on a video, and then I was working on podcasts, and I was working at work and whatever. And Paris went, people that work get kept in positions of working because other people can see it. So like someone would look at me and be like, wow, Will's a hard worker. So I'm going to make sure he fucking stays there because he is guaranteed to work on shit. Which is also why you gotta learn to walk away from shit, take risks, and not follow all the rules. Because if you just stay in the rules because it's scary, which obviously it's very scary to break apart from that. But people above you in a job, let's say, they're gonna bank on you to be like, yeah, this dude is fucking stuck here for years, and I know that because all he does is work and he doesn't take risks. That is, I don't know. I look at that and I'm like, that's scary because I don't want to be that predictable of like a person where someone can just look at me and be like, yeah, look, he's just like fucking. I guess if YouTube is where I get stuck, then that's literally what I want. But like, if it's like I'm stuck working for a fucking pet rock company or some shit like that, and it's like my boss will be like, oh yeah, Will's just stuck here. He's not going anywhere. Yeah. That to me is scary. Like, no.
Yeah. And it's tough too, because like I've talked to my parents about that and they're very, very different on that regard. They definitely see my perspective on things, but I'm going to just tell my story of like my mom and her company really quick, because she started about 25 years ago at this software company that she still works for. It's about quadrupled. No, maybe 8 times the amount of what it started as. It started with like 20 people and it's almost 200 now.
Wow.
So it's insane. Anyway, still a very small company, but she has like in the last 10 years had a lot more obligations and a lot more stuff that they're just piling on top of her. And her pay hasn't been like showing the same thing. And I can tell she's putting in a lot more hours and a lot more stressed, and she feels that, right? But in her mind, she's stable. It pays for the family. It helps a lot. Obviously, she's getting the big bucks. But I told her, I was like, Mom, stand up for yourself, right? Like, obviously, you have been with this company basically from the start. Like, you have put in your time. But, like, it's just that older generation that feels like, well, I don't know if I'm worth that. I don't know if I can, like, voice my opinion because I don't want to ruin a good thing, quote unquote, like money-wise. But I told her, I was like, it's a different generation. If they see that like these new hires or all these new people coming to the company that can replace you, fuck it. But guess what? None of them can. Yeah. And you know that what you're doing the best out of anyone that can do the job. And I just feel like it's just different, man. Like if I was in her position, I know it's scary, but like you gotta find your own happiness to some extent. And I'm feeling that 7 months into my own job right now. Like if I'm there for like 2 more years, bro, I might blow my brains
Yeah.
out. And I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
the
I'm
rise
making,
up doesn't
yeah,
doesn't apply.
yeah, man. But I mean, like it's calculated risk, right? Like for example, I was broke. I moved cities. Doesn't make the most sense on paper, but worst comes worst, I just move home or I figure it out. And I'm very, very lucky to say that. But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is like I just wanted to start over, say no to like a safe job, quote unquote. But I wanted to just get out of my comfort zone, not 5 minutes away from my college, not 5 minutes away from my hometown, try something new, right? And I mean, I bet you agree with this, but like the key was just asking yourself, what is the worst case scenario and can I live with it? It's
I'm
true.
sorry. Can you imagine? Worst case scenario. My apartment lights on fire. And
Can you live with it?
I don't live. Well, you live
And I pass
outside of it.
away. Can you live with
You
it?
live. You're like, I live 4 miles from the nearest grocery store, and my car broke down. So that's the worst case. The worst case, I also get dementia next year, so I can't remember how to do my job. So then I get fired. But then if I get fired, I can't pay rent on my apartment that's
Okay,
on fire.
there are pretty bad. There are pretty bad cases. You're right. You're right. Pretty bad scenarios. I'm talking about hopefully more likely stuff of like maybe losing your job or maybe like
Yeah.
your apartment, like you can't pay for your lease, stuff like that. Not like cancer and dementia and fucking I don't know,
Only
cocaine.
the
Actually,
room next to you lights on fire. Not your apartment. Just the room next to you. So you're fine, actually.
But don't worry, the guy next to you who has his apartment on fire actually is a coke dealer, and he just actually drills a hole through your wall that connects you and comes over and actually drugs you during the night, and you have full control. But that's the scenario. So, can you live with that,
Yeah.
Will?
That's tough.
Not the scruff. Not the scruff.
I grow 2 millimeters of facial hair, and I'm just like,
I am your elder. Nah. But anyway, yeah, if you answer yes to that, it is worth it. If you can live with the worst case scenario, it's worth it. Last little point is, yeah, nothing great has ever happened to anyone. Well, that's not maybe true, but most people that play it safe, right? I mean, every good thing came from breaking a rule or two, bending a rule or two. And like the reason why I know Will was actually for putting, well, my parents really, but putting myself out there with soccer, man. I was showing up to trainings. I could have easily just been like, no, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. I wouldn't have met Will. And same with him, man. And so
we wouldn't have been as close because Ryan didn't take that risk by breaking my hand.
True, dude. Exactly.
Ryan went, fuck this kid. He's pissing me off. And then he tripped my ass on a fucking ice rink because our coach was brain dead to
That's
run
what
on
I'm
it.
about to say. Yeah.
Dumb as a brick idea. And then look how close we are now. Because man,
exactly,
my hand.
Dude. Yep. I'm always lending hands. You're welcome, dude.
It paid off.
It really did, bro. Exactly, man. Exactly. Didn't pay the hospital bills. I'll pay it off over time. Sorry about that again, Will.
Yeah.
Nah, man. All right. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode. How to break the rules to be excellent. Just be like me and Will, basically. We're just fucking awesome. So, nah. But seriously, though, if you're like waiting to have permission to go off script in your life and you're just feeling like it's the time to do it, this is it. And bro shook his head like, no.
Well, I shook your head when you were like, you were like, if you're asking for permission to break the rules, I'm like, no. I thought you were gonna say no, just break them. Like, fuck it, just.
Oh.
But you were using this as a wake up call. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I was like, damn. Well, Will just he's just one of those people that just doesn't like seeing your goals. But no, seriously though, take smart risks, bend the rules that don't serve you right. For example, don't put in the effort that you over effort, like Will was saying at work. Like if they're just gonna treat you the same way. But yeah, remember, you're always like allowed to define success however you want. Everyone is different in that way. Will shout us out, but like just make sure to keep looking at those reels because holy shit, when we're taking all the highlights, all the funny ass moments of every single week and putting it on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So check those out. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. Holy shit, I just forgot the outro. Fuck.
Man forgot the name of the podcast. Man forgot the name of the podcast.
I didn't forget that. No.
He went, can't wait to finish the episode.
No, that's going to be it for today's episode. And we'll catch you next week on the Care What People Think podcast. See you next week.
See you next week on 182.3